morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are watching WYTV. You're welcome to another edition of News Review, where we talk about the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji, but you can call me Sidon J. And I have in the studio with me.
I'm Ambassador Rochimorilua, son of the prophetess, a man who resembles Wike. Good morning to all our viewers all over the world.
All right, as usual, you know, the sponsor for this show is still Nokpa Abbas. And I do tell you, you can be one of our sponsors. You can call the number on the screen, or you can send us a text, and we'll reply as soon as possible. Today, I'll be starting with Punch newspaper, as usual. CBN orders bank to sell excess dollars in 24 hours. Tinubu orders AGF local bureau to end $1.3 billion block dispute. Makinde gives companies with explosives 72 hours ultimatum. Why I cannot work with Labour Party? Showore. Genome Vanguard newspaper. Food security drive focuses on gender inclusion. Minister. Electricity consumers increased to 11.7 million in Q3 2023 MBS. Makinde signs exclusive order on handling storage of harmful substances. Then on Daily Post newspaper. 15 killed as suspected herdsmen attack Agatu in Benue State. Kidnappers demand 30 million naira to release two sisters in Abuja. Police deny receiving 3 million naira bribe to release suspects in Calabar. Jan extorting poor, vulnerable students, Aisha Yusuf. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. Let's go on a short commercial break. When we're back, we'll talk more on some of the headlines. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. The family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Abba Mixture, the family's best bet. With
Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
Nokpa for management of power.
You welcome back from that short commercial break, and that's our sponsor, Nokpa Abbas. The first headline of today is about this herdsmen that killed 15 in Benue State.
Again in Benue State. You see, the issue of this insecurity threat has become rampant in the country. And if care is not taken, before you get to know, I do say that one day we just wake up, we see that Nigeria is no longer a 16. I believe the best solution for now, if the federal government has nothing to do with this, and if the federal government is not finding a solution to this, let everybody go on his own. Let the Yoruba stand, let the Igbo stand, let the Hausa stand on their own. Let's have a Yoruba nation.
So you mean we should separate?
We should separate. If the federal government that we voted in, the person in power that we voted in, could not see to the issue of insecurity, then let everybody go on his own. Then we guide our own land.
Well, the president in question is not in Nigeria currently. He went on a private visit to Paris. That is in France, and people have been talking about it like...
despite all what is happening in the country, is it for him to travel to France, or instead of him to stay back in Nigeria and fix the problem of Nigeria before traveling out of the country?
Well, no fewer than 15 persons have been killed after suspected herders attacked Ugboji community in the Agatu local government area of Benue State. The attackers, who have been conducting relentless attacks on the area for the past 2 weeks, invaded the village yesterday evening, leaving local in distress. According to eyewitnesses, many people are still missing, and search parties are actively combing ambushes for any remaining survivors. Like a lot of people have been kidnapped, not even the one of the herdsmen. Instead, they've kidnapped a lot, and people are still looking for them in bushes. Godwin Edo, the member representing Agatu constituency in the State House of Assembly, decried the fresh wave of killings, confirming the incident occurred on Wednesday, which was yesterday. Edo said, "I'm frustrated as a representative of my people by their cries. I have forwarded all the gory photos of the bodies recovered to the WhatsApp lines of both the governor and his deputy." What is that going to do to stop the killing? You are sending pictures of as if they
don't know what is going on in the state. They all knew. They saw it. It's all over the country. It's all over the country. It's all over the state. So what else are we still saying?
You see, I think it is high time we talk to the IGP to, why are you the inspector?
You see, the IGP in question is not a matter of we talking to IGP. It's a matter of we talking to the governor, to the president himself, because he was the one that elected this set of people. And if the insecurity persists, nobody is held accountable for an office in which you play negligent of duty to.
I understand what you're trying to say, but let us look at it from this angle. The president has chosen someone to direct the security aspect. Now, if the man is not actively performing, let us talk to him like, okay, maybe the IGP should re-strategize, try to have a meeting, have a roundtable meeting with all the security personnel in Nigeria. Okay, from the army chief of staff to the Amotekun to the police to every other security agencies in Nigeria. Let them come together. Okay, how can we cover this? What are the strategies to take?
I understand what you are saying. Do you know how many times they have come together and re-strategizing on this kind of issue? I believe if somebody is being appointed in an office and he refuses to play the role of that office the way he's supposed to play, I believe that person should have been fired by the person who appointed that person in the office. And nobody is saying anything about it. You remember when the ex-president was there, President Muhammadu Buhari, when there was a killing here and there, kidnapping here and there, he traveled out of the country where he transferred the power to the vice, the person of Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Yeah. When there was a killing, then what happened? Professor Yemi Osinbajo had to remove all those service chiefs. Then, there was a calm. It was after when the president came that he later brought those service chiefs back.
Well, let's move on to the next headline here. Makinde gives companies with explosives 72-hour ultimatum. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde yesterday signed into law Executive Order 001/2024 on the handling and storage of harmful substances in the state. In a section of the order, the governor gave 72 hours ultimatum to anyone in the state in possession of any kind of explosives to declare them. The new law came about 2 weeks after an explosion rocked the state capital Ibadan on January 16, killing 5 persons and injuring 77 others, with 58 houses destroyed in the Adeyi area of Old Bodija, Ibadan. While the federal government has launched a probe into the incident, Makinde has said preliminary investigation linked with the explosion to some explosives illegally stored in the residential area by some miners. Failure to comply with the provisions of the executive order, including the doing of any act with respect to or omission to take proper precautions against any probable danger from any explosive in possession of any person, shall constitute an offence and shall be punishable under Chapter 38 of the Criminal Code Laws of Oyo State of Nigeria 2000 and any other applicable laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Makinde declared. So now, the problem here is, you were the one that allowed these people to stay in Ibadan. They told you the kind of things they are here to do. And the kind of it is your responsibility to ask, okay, what are the things you are bringing in? What are those things you are going to be using for this operation that you came to do in Ibadan? So I think the mistake is still from the Oyo State government.
Let me tell you this, everybody knew, and we all know that any mining company must have an explosive device. For instance, when you go to Shagamu, we have a cement factory there, Lafarge. Likewise, in Ewekoro, we have Ashaka, we have in Lakatabu there, being owned by this Dangote refinery, which they blast and limestone often and often. I believe what do I call it? The explosive device in question should not be brought to a residential area.
At least
it should be kept in their site, because I believe mining site is far from a residential from the city. So the only thing that they needed to put in place was that any person found bringing explosive device within the community should be sanctioned and should be jailed.
Well, at a briefing signing ceremony at the governor's office, Agodi Ibadan, that was yesterday, Makinde said the signing of the executive order became imperative in the light of the January 16 incident. According to him, the law is on the safe handling the storage of harmful substances in the state. He expressed optimism that the new law would prevent a recurrence of the January 16 explosion in the state. In the executive order obtained by the news, the governor stated that it had become necessary to strengthen the existing regulatory framework connected with the handling of harmful substances to ensure comprehensive risk mitigation and proactive prevention of accidents, misuse, or any other illegal or criminal activity involving harmful articles or substances. Now, I think this new law is going to change things in the state. And now, people, the other governors of the other states are seeing what is going on in Ibadan, your state. They saw what the law the governor is trying to bring in place. So as to make sure peace reigns in that state. Now, those governors, I expected them to start thinking of how to incur this law in their state. Well, so they won't wait for the time that explosion will happen
before they come out to start running that state. I believe all eyes on your state based on that the incident happened in York State.
Yes.
I believe some of the governors might have put all these things in place because it's only because they are not coming out to say it to the extent in which the news is carrying. That is why we don't know that the law is being put in place. But the issue is that this Oyo State governor coming out to say this at this point in time is a very welcome idea. I believe all hands should be on deck on the area of safety of life and property, most especially the people that you govern. And one thing is to enforce the law. Another thing is to abide with the law. Because when you see a law that is being enforced in Nigeria, within some period of months, like 2-3 months, you see how people will be running at a scatter based on the law that was just enforced. And those people,
once they see a way to jeopardize
that effort, before you get to know, this set of people that have been appointed to be in charge of those things, before you get to know, they start collecting bribe. You see those laws not working again.
Well, we still in corruption. We still having cases of corruption in Nigeria, and I don't think this will stop anytime soon. Let's move on to the next headline here. Kidnappers demand 30 million naira to release 2 sisters in Abuja. Kidnappers are demanding 30 million naira ransom before releasing 2 teenage sisters abducted at Greater Community, Shikakore in Kubwa Buhari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja. The bandits, numbering 6, struck on Sunday at about 11:25 p.m. and made away with the girls, who were said to be 16 and 14 years old. Chikakore community had barely 8 days ago protested to the office of the FCT minister in some wiki over the state of major road linking their community, which they described as one of the causes of serial kidnappings in the area. According to a source, the 2 girls, aged 14 and 16, were kidnapped from their home on Sunday. He said, "I learned that the kidnappers have demanded 30 million naira ransom from the girls' family." Josephine Ade, the spokesperson for FCT Police Command, could not be reached for comment or implement. Now, you see, people said they're already diverting the kidnapping from Abuja to some other states. But I said, nah, lie.
They are still there. They are all over the country. They are all over the country. It's not a matter of diversion.
How much is Abuja? How far is Abuja? How big is Abuja? That securities cannot
right at the center of the center of Nigeria, there, which is the capital of Nigeria. If such thing is happening in Abuja, well, we don't blame other states. But what I want the federal government to put in measure is that let the state be given the power to guide their state. Let the state give them the power to do whatever they like in their state.
I think we said something about that not quite long. That corruption is the problem. You see all this. We are talking about state police. We want a state to have their own securities and all. They are going to start taking bribes too. They know what's up. They know where they are. It's not like they don't know where they are, but because they've been bribed. Most of them, okay, look at the news that we got today that some religious bodies are saying funding the kidnappers and bandits. Imagine. So the people that are funding all those people are people that we know very well.
Let them be exposed, because most of the reason that this country is not moving forward was that when President Muhammadu Buhari was elected as the president, they said they have listed some names. Some of the cabals that are troubling the peace of this nation, that very soon the names of those people will be released. For good 8 years. None of the names were being released.
Well, this is where we're going to be ending it on the show today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X account at Wisdom Yard Online TV. My name is Ahmed Abbas or Latunji, but you can call me Sidonje. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me on the show.
You can as well be one of our sponsors. You can call the number on the screen or you can text us and we'll reply as sharp. We'll see you again next time on News Review. Be good and be hardworking. Bye for now.